Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, April 5th, 2019. Welcome to another eBay video. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the much talked about PayPal update, as well as seller metrics, a China seller, and your questions, comments, and concerns from last week's video. Before we get started, let me point out that I made you guys a promise last week, and the week before, and the week before. I said next week it will be cloudy and rainy. And it's cloudy and rainy. It's not raining this second, but it's going to start shortly, and it's going to stop precisely at 6 p.m. It never rains at night. It always rains here during the daytime, and the forecast for the upcoming week is nothing but rain every day. The only two dry days we have coming up will be tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. And he said Monday, right back to a rainy pattern all week. It's absolutely terrible. No spring, no sun. Let's get started with today's video. Normally, I read all your comments, questions, and concerns, and then go on to the main topics. This week, I'm going to read one comment and talk about a main topic, and then continue with your comments, questions, and concerns. The first comment I want to read has to do with the PayPal update, and it was written by Judy Gallagher. Hi Joe, my husband and I look forward to watching your videos every Friday night. I've been on eBay since February 6, 1999, just a few weeks after you began your eBay journey. What concerns me tonight regards PayPal's policy update. On May 7, 2019, PayPal states, we're going to change how we treat refunds. If you refund, partially or fully, a transaction to a buyer or donation to a donor, there are no fees to make the refund. But the fees you were originally paid as the seller will not be returned to you. When I first signed up for PayPal many years ago, I vividly remember PayPal initially promised their customers that they would never charge any fees, and not only did we pay 30 cents on each transaction, but we're charged an overall 3% fee too. This latest announcement has me very upset. PayPal must sense there's going to be big changes on the horizon regarding internet payment transactions, so they're trying to glean as much money now before their money cow runs dry. Man, this is cheap. Your thoughts? Judy in California. Let's talk about that a little bit, because this has been a big topic in the Facebook groups. Basically, to make it a little clearer, what's going to happen is this, and this change will most likely impact everybody. Let's say a person buys an item from you on eBay for $100. Okay? Guy pays instantly with PayPal. 2 or 3 minutes later, the guy wants to cancel the transaction for whatever reason. You'll get your eBay fees back, your listing fees, but you will not get your PayPal fees back. Those fees are gone forever. This also applies to refunds. Guy buys an item from you for $100, gets it, doesn't like it. Even if it's buyer remorse and he claims he was wrong and he's a legit buyer, you'll get your eBay fees back, but not your PayPal fees back. This is going to start May 7th, 2019. This is definitely not good news. A lot of sellers expressed their outrage about this, and I'm not happy with it either, and I don't think you are either. One person wrote in and said that this kind of behavior is the industry standard with payment processes now. And I'd like your opinion on this, guys. Do you agree with that? Is this indeed the industry standard with payment processes, that once they get your money, they will never give you back your original fee? You know, I mean, I don't like it myself, but I'm wondering if this has anything to do with Adyen stepping in and becoming the predominant processor for eBay. Will this have any effect on any sellers switching over to managed payments sooner? Coincidentally, I got an email from eBay 2 days ago reminding me that I should switch over to the new managed payment system. Did you guys get that email too? And if so, did you act on it? I still have not switched over to the managed payment system. I'm still on the old method, but I'd like your opinion on this, guys, because this is a sensitive topic, okay? So in the comment section below, this is not theory or conjecture, this is fact. This is fact! PayPal is not going to refund your fees anymore. No matter what. If the guy cancels a transaction 10 minutes later, too bad. You lose the fees. I'd like your opinion on that, please. Now I'm going to continue reading your comments, questions, and concerns from last week's video. Deborah Kubler wrote, "Just had one last night where a Fitchy buyer claimed I misrepresented the item. When I told him I researched it and did not misrepresent it, he then said he just didn't like the item and wanted to return it. I told him no problem. I received the item returned last night and did not refund the original shipping, plus he paid to have it shipped back. He never contacted me about it, so I assume he was good with that. I don't refund original shipping either when it's buyer's remorse. I totally agree with you on eBay fixing the glitch, as most of the buyers I have that return something have had remorse, but since I can't prove that, they get around it by saying the item not as described. Wish eBay could find a way to fix that." And I'm going to talk about that a little later in the video with seller metrics. Pablo Zapata wrote, "Hi Joe, could you please make an updated video on how to stop ads from other sellers on your eBay listings? eBay has changed that. It now says it's covered under marketing tools, however I can't find it. Thank you." Pablo, I assume you're talking about the cross promotion feature, which I used to be able to turn off from my settings. Now, I am not talking about the sponsored links, because if you're talking about those eBay sponsored links, we can't turn them off. But the cross promotion feature we can turn off, so I'm not quite sure which one you made. As far as physically turning it off, I'm not sure if they've changed how to do that from settings or not. I'm going to have to check into that. 5797029 wrote, "Joe, I got the opposite results from calling eBay customer service. They still won't remove an unjustified negative feedback after multiple attempts. Also on returns, I received a return request yesterday that's 11 days over my 30-day return policy. They used the doesn't work reason. I messaged the buyer hoping they would admit to ordering the wrong item. The item is a 2008 Suzuki SX4 sedan grill. In the reply today, they said it just doesn't fit, and they did say they had the exact same model and year as the one the grill came from. According to the request, I'm paying the shipping both ways, and eBay customer service said they would not back me up in any way. I even spoke to a manager. I could not reason with them. Their advice was to just suck it up and move on. There have been a boatload of questionable returns recently. It feels like I'm attracting all the Fitchy buyers." Well, Mike, don't worry. You're not attracting all the Fitchy buyers. We're all getting them. I told you I had a couple last week. But what I'm a little bit confused about, Mike, here, is he says the grill will not fit, meaning he bought the wrong size. So did he check off the option wrong size doesn't fit? Because in that case, he should be paying the shipping back, not you. Or did he check off not as described? So let me know about that when you get a chance. CYSP wrote, "Joe, are you bringing the Fox News Cup of Life to eBay Open 2019? You could hook it into your lanyard. It would be like seeing the Holy Grail. You know, that would be really great if I brought it with me. But I'm going to tell you why. I don't think I'm going to, because, number one, I would have to apply for special insurance with the airlines to cover that priceless mug. Also, if I brought it to eBay Open, and I've already talked to them about it, they would want to enclose it in one of those glass enclosures, like you see sometimes a special diamond from overseas or the Queen's necklace, where people can all come and look at it like in a museum. And they're afraid it would take too much attention away from the presentation itself. The whole crowd would be looking at the Fox News Cup of Life. St. Paul MN Seller wrote, Joe, for March, I did promoted listings with 150 listings. Got just 6 sales for $120. However, it was probably 6 sales I would not have made. You suggesting the 1% fee only cost me $1.20 when the eBay suggested fee would have been $8.38. Definitely worth it and a good start. I'll try to increase sales with adding more listings in April. Joe, you're rejuvenated and loud. Don't be Fitchy statement even shocked all the birds off the trees here in Minnesota. Well, wait till the end of this video. We'll see how many birds come out of the trees again, because there's going to be some yelling. LawnPro.biz wrote, Joe, if you do free returns, you can discount the refund up to 50% and eBay will back you. And if they complain, eBay will refund the buyer on their dime, not yours. I've had to do it 4 times now, and they'll remove negative feedback. I do not do free returns because, in my opinion, that's inviting more trouble than I have now. While it's annoying to get Fitchy buyers claiming not as described, it's livable, it's doable, and it's basically the cost of doing business. And I'm going to show you a little bit more about that in the seller metrics right now, as soon as we do our cutaway. My question to you is, you say you're in free returns. So if a buyer buys an item from you, let's say it's $100, he gets it and he doesn't like it. He sends it back in the original condition you sent it to him. Are you telling me that you can give him less than $100 even though the item is exactly in perfect condition as you sent it? Let me know about that if you would. Or are you saying you can only discount it if the buyer maligns the item in some way? Please clarify that if you would. Thank you. The last comment I'm going to read is a question from Gary Smith. He writes, I need your advice. I shipped the item, a wooden shoe cleaning box with brushes, which has 2 side wooden legs. The buyer sent a picture of one leg unglued and requested a return of money. He or she made a claim with eBay. I immediately accepted money returned to the buyer without return of the product. It was a free return, and I didn't want to spend money on that. Case is closed. But I still have aftertaste feeling. It takes crazy glue to reattach the leg. I feel disrespected by the buyer, and I consider him or her a cheap opportunist. How would you approach this? Thank you up front for your reply. Well, I gotta be honest with you. I don't do free returns, as I said. At this time, and in the category I'm selling in, eBay Motors, free returns is absolutely not a viable option for me. So my question to you, Gary Smith, is this the first time you had an issue with a free return, or is this something you've come in contact with before? I'm not opposed to you accepting the return because that's just good business sense, and you know how it is on eBay. You really need to accept the return. But why didn't you ask for the item back if it only takes crazy glue to reattach the leg? That way you could have resold the item and hopefully recouped all your losses. I'm just wondering about that, so let me know when you get a chance. We are now going to talk about seller metrics, but beforehand, I'd like to stop for a moment if I can and take my first drink from the Fox News Cup. Oh, life. This is the Fox News Cup O' Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Nothing like a nice drink on a cold day. I'm holding the Fox News Cup O' Life up for another second or two. Okay. Guys, even though today is April 5th, do you want to guess how cold it is right now? 38 degrees. See that? 38 degrees on April 5th. And we're lucky if we're going to hit 42 degrees today. It's pathetically cold. And there's just no end in sight. Now we're going to talk about seller metrics. Before we get started, we're going to do a cutaway, and I'm going to show you my seller metrics from a screenshot I took last night. So let's do that, and then we'll discuss it. Bang! Let's talk about service metrics. First, to access them, go into your Seller Hub and hover your cursor over the Performance tab, which is right here. And you'll see a drop-down menu, and you're going to want to click here
on service metrics. And you'll see a screen that will come up that will look something like this. And I want to discuss this in detail. On the right here, you'll see it shows I've had 6 returns. These returns are only SNAD returns. These are not legitimate returns. As you probably know, most of my eBay customers are good, honest people, so the majority of my returns would not appear here. I'm thinking I probably have at least 20, maybe even 25 returns that are not showing up because they're legit customers. Now here are 6 people that purchased items from me that filed SNAD returns. Nobody claimed my parts were missing or broken. Nobody said my stuff arrived damaged. But 2 people said my stuff was not working or defective. 1 person said I sent the wrong item. 3 people said not as described, but nobody said not authentic. Now, let's look at me on the scale, and I'll tell you how I compare to other people. I sell in eBay Motors, as you see on top here, so this scale is actually applying to eBay Motors only. The average eBay Motors seller logs in right here at 0.85%, which is considered average. I log in under that at 0.51%, which is even better than the average eBay Motors seller. This week, a post appeared on Facebook that drew a lot of attention about these SNAD returns and seller metrics. A lot of sellers are upset over the fact that eBay is allowing customers to claim SNAD recase with no repercussions whatsoever. Sad to say, that is true. This is not confined to eBay Motors. This is all over the system. This is the way they're doing it right now. Now, as you can see, although I had 6 what I would call false SNAD cases against me, it really didn't hurt me a bit. I'm still coming in below my peers, meaning the average eBay Motors seller is getting more SNAD return cases than me. Now, there are some people that feel that it's unfair for eBay to let honest sellers like you and me get tagged with these unfair SNAD cases and not do any homework on them without deciding. My personal feeling is this. My gut feeling and my honest feeling is that I wish this was not the case. I'm not gonna come out here and lie to you guys. You know me too good for that. I don't think that this should be allowed to happen. However, in all fairness, as you can see right here, look, it's having no effect on me whatsoever. So what I really want to know from you guys, and I asked you this last year, please check your seller metrics when you get a chance and let me know where you fall regarding your peers. Do you have less SNAD cases than your competition, the same, or more? Although I'm sure most of you guys do not like the fact that eBay allows these unquestioned SNAD returns to come in, do you think that it's really having a major effect on you at all? Because as you can see right here, it's having no effect on me at all. I mean, it's having an effect on my pride, but nothing else. So let's get back to the video and we'll talk more about this.
So yeah, I would like you guys, if you don't mind, to tell me what your seller metrics are like right now in the comment section below. In some of the Facebook groups, some people are going ballistic over the SNAD cases affecting their seller metrics. What I'm saying is people are getting undeserved SNAD cases, just like I am, just like you are. And they're going ballistic and they're saying that it's killing their seller metrics. Now, as I showed you on my shot, I have 6 undeserved SNAD cases. However, even so, they're not really hurting me, because if you look at the graph on the left side, you'll see the average person selling in eBay Motors has even more than that. eBay Motors really lends itself to returns. Now, 6 SNAD cases, while it may sound bad and maybe unfair, is not a lot compared to my peers in eBay Motors. What I would like to see is I'd like to see another graph next to that one that shows the total amount of returns we had, even legit returns. Because like I said, most of my customers are cool cats who do buy the wrong size because they don't read, but they man up and they admit it and they send the item back. Wrong size doesn't fit. I estimate I would have minimum 20 returns, not counting those 6, and probably more than 20. Maybe 30. Who knows? Maybe more. I can't keep track of them all. I get about 3 a week. Now, as I was saying, in my personal opinion, as I've said in the past, I think even last week we talked about this, I would like to see the team at eBay redo these SNAD return cases and recalculate them in what would be a matter fairer to the seller. However, it's my opinion right now that even though it hurts my pride to have those 6 unfair SNAD cases, it's really not hurting my performance on eBay at all, as you saw by my graph. My sales are still killer. I'm making money every day. I'm doing great. I have no complaints about sales. So the seller metrics are not hurting me. The only way I will say it does hurt me is in my pride, because it is my opinion, and I've showed you cases that those 6 are not items not as described. These are the all buyer remorse cases where people bought items, they were the wrong size, wrong color, or whatever, you know. And unfortunately, even when the person admits in the eBay contact system that they are the ones that screwed up, the eBay representatives do not have the power to do anything about it. Another thread that came up on Facebook this week is China sellers misrepresenting items that they sell as being legitimate items. Now, as you know, eBay itself cannot do anything about that because eBay is not the vero rights holder to the item in question. So as it happens, this lady was writing. She happens to sell on eBay Motors too, and she was complaining about a particular seller who's misrepresenting items and saying they're legitimate items when they're not. So I jumped in the conversation on the thread, and I told her that there's this one guy I've been watching for years that's doing this and getting away with it. And I told her the state of where he was and what he was selling, and she said, "Joe, oh my God, it's the same person." Her and I both noticed the same person. That shows how egregious and flagrant this guy is. I can't tell you, he's made tens of thousands of dollars, okay, selling fake China crap and badging it with legit car emblems, such as Nissan, Toyota, Volkswagen, all that kind of stuff. And I'm sick of it. In an unrelated story, I was on eBay the other night, and I came across a different seller doing the same thing, selling Ford parts. And he had a close-up of the back of the alloy wheel Ford cap, and you could clearly see it was a China reproduction. So I did a little investigating, and a lot of people were giving him negative feedback. So, you know, item not received, not as described, whatever. And I looked at his location, and it was in New York, not too far from JFK. So I then clicked on his feedback number, and instead of showing New York, it showed he was based in China. So I'm thinking that he has a warehouse just outside of JFK, a huge warehouse with all these aftermarket counterfeit Chinese parts where he's representing them as legit US parts. And he is representing them as the real thing. I was so pissed off. You know how I get pissed off, all right? I made a cutaway, about a 4-minute cutaway on this cat. But I'm not going to show it to you today. And I may not even show it to you at all, I don't know, all right? I don't want to be seen, I don't want to be looked at as a hater, because I'm not a hater, but I am absolutely sick to death of fitchy China sellers representing cheap garbage parts as legitimate because of two reasons. Number one, they're undercutting legit sellers like me and you who cannot match that price because we sell the real thing. And number two, the customers are getting stung. They're buying this stuff, they think it's the real thing, and they're getting stung. And they're having a bad taste in their mouth, and they may not come back and do any more shopping on eBay after that. All right? That's my personal feeling. In the comment section below, tell me if you think next week or in the future I should release that video about this fitchy China seller and put him right into the fitchy seller's hall of shame. That being said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. It's cold, it's going to start raining any minute. I want to get back inside. Guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. Every Friday I come out here and I make these videos to try and help you be successful on eBay. If you think I'm doing a good job, please leave me a thumbs up. It tells me that I'm on the right track and appreciated. If you don't think I did a good job, tell me in the comments section what you want me to hit up and I'll gladly do it next week. Remember, I am a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. I'm still making money online. I've solved a lot of problems and I've never worn a mask. Please go out there. I hope you make a ton of sales on eBay. I want you to rock on and peace! Yeah! Okay. I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs now. I'm going to warn everybody, if you're wearing headphones, take them off. In fact, I'm even going to have another drink from the Fox News Cup of Life before I end the video. I'm not playing around, guys. This is the Fox News Cup of Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. You know, guys, when I make these videos, I give you information and I suggest. I give you my opinion as to what I think you could do to help yourselves make more money on eBay. I always say, you don't have to do what I say, you do what works for you. But in this one case, I'm going to insist. I'm going to insist you take my advice. This is not a request, I'm insisting. Something I want everyone to listen to. 3 words. Ready for them? Don't be fishy! Yeah!